Everyday chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Hello? Hold on, guys. How's it going? Okay, I don't know where everyone is. Could you guys hear me clearly? Okay, let me share my charts. Give me a second, please. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay. Basically, we were in gold sells earlier. We were in gold sells earlier from around 76, yeah, around this zone over here. You see, tap this line that I have marked. And we hit TP1. TP1 was at 50. Exactly over here. Got 270 pips. And honestly, I was still holding. I was expecting it to break out from here. However, it didn't. And I hopped on buys right after. And currently, market is going to go kamikaze, you know, because of everything that's happening, fundamentals, Trump's deadline, and everything that is happening in the Middle East. So my advice to you guys is to be very careful, to not be, don't be like decisive, be calm, do not take trades just based on your feelings, and wait for a clear breakout, because on the bigger time frames and when you look at it, we're in a big range over here. And this is a dirty range, as I'd like to call it. However, my bias for today and until we get an outcome for this war and the fundamentals, I'm just going to be shorting gold. I'm not looking at buys anymore, even though I was. But based on everything that's happening fundamentally, all we care about is shorts. We cannot be taking any buys. And I see gold dropping to around 4,000 on bigger time frames. Let me show you. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I see gold dropping, breaking out of this range over here, taking this liquidity for 1,100 and dropping all the way to 4,000. Possibly today, as soon as the results are out and Trump decides to take further action. Okay. But at the current time, I'm not looking at any gold buys, and I'm just going to be considering shorts because of what's happening, oil prices, and USD strength. So we cannot think of buying, even though it is the logical thing. It is what everyone expects. Uh, Gold longs, war, gold and metals should go up, safe haven. However, the demand has shifted from metals to the US dollar, bonds, um, and oil at the current time. Investors are shifting their funds and liquidating their gold positions, whether it's physical or contracts, to dollar. Okay, give me one sec, please. Yeah. Tanvir, correct. So as you see, this is the hourly. And then you got this on the 4 hour. Look at this disgusting price range. Look at this. Price action is nasty. This is nasty. And you don't want to be caught in this. And I've just been scalping here and there. Okay. Okay. See, the moment we have a closure below 4,604, or you can say 4,600 basically, gold is going to drop at least here in the first place, 4,300, 4,400. And then after that, we will take out the liquidity at 4,100, and then finally 4,000. It's just gonna drop to this exact level that I have marked, 3,885, and then we can bounce back up. But currently, please do not even consider any buys unless the Strait of Hormuz opens up, or um, there is a clear indication that the war has ended, which is not going to happen as it looks like. Let's look at daily. Okay, guys, I'm gonna place a position because I cannot be here for long. Honestly, I'm gonna take a sell right now. Yep, it's dropping. Get in, guys. This is our sell. It's gonna be a big position. For those who don't know me, my targets are always big. I'm not a scalper or a person that gives you a 100 pip TP and go celebrate and oh yeah, we hit 100 pips. Wow. No, I have bigger targets always. Sometimes unrealistic to some people. However, that's the way I trade. I'm gonna try to catch the move. If we get a breakout today from here, yeah, my stops are gonna be at exactly 4,710, and you can say TP1 can be at 4,600 flat, and then my second target, which is swing target, let's say 4,400. Okay, this is my target, and yeah, to the people that know me, they know how I trade. They've seen my results, and yeah, we've been smashing the shit out of gold past few weeks. We killed it. Okay. Yep, I'm in. Let me just add a few positions here and there. Okay. I'm in this deal now, and feel free to place your positions, guys. However, please manage your risk carefully. Do not over leverage. As you can see, we have very big targets. TP1 is around 500 pips, and then TP2 is around 2,500 pips as a swing target. So let's take this. So let's look at this shit. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna drop in a second. I personally trade 1 minute on my while taking my trades and execution. I'm a classical trader. I don't tell you ICT, SMC, any of that. With all respect to my fellow traders, I just do classical trading. And I'm known to be the king of flips. Casually flipping $100, $200 to 1,000, 2,000 on a daily basis. Sometimes even more. All results are out there for people to check. Okay. We're gonna start to drop, baby. Let's go. Guys, please feel free to ask any questions. I'd like this to actually take out the most recent low at 4,630, which made 0 cents for me because it should have taken out 4,623 and dropped to 4,600. And I'm still expecting that very soon, hopefully. Any questions, guys? No, unfortunately, I do not use the Fibonacci or any of these things. For those who don't know me, I was mentored by Khalid. He's a dear friend of mine, an OG. And the way I mark my zones is very simple and basic. I'll show you guys in a second, please. Hold on. Okay, I mark my zones basically by looking at the higher time frames. 1 hour, 4 hours, and 15 minutes. On the 1 hour, it's very clear. If you just go and grab a clean chart, okay, and you see all this mess, all right. See this, first of all, this is trend line liquidity over here. Very simple and basic. And then you grab a line over here. However you want to draw your trend line, doesn't matter. It does the job, okay? And the moment you see that it broke out of this trend line, okay, you expect a retest, which is awkward over here. See this retest to the trend line, then continuation. And then we got in this consolidation, this mess over here, which you really do not want to be a part of at most cases. However, um, catching a breakout from here will make you a shit ton of money. Because when we break out of here, as I'm expecting, to the downside, you have a move of at least 2,000 pips. Okay? This is where the trend line started, the liquidity that we need to grab. This entire liquidity, but this is on a hourly time frame, which means that the positions on the hourly that does not occur fast. It isn't easy, and it takes time. Okay, so you need patience with that. And then when it comes to zones and how I mark my zones, you can see where we have psychological levels and we have levels that we got reactions from. So you see over here, why do I have this marked? You see that we had a reaction over here to this zone. We had a reaction over here. We couldn't break this high. And then I grabbed the line, put it, and you see every time we tap it, we have the same reaction. Here, here, then we broke out of it all the way up. And over here, we had the same reaction as well. So I marked the zone because you see over here, it couldn't break higher, couldn't break lower. This is a zone. This is a zone. And then not this is not a zone. This was mistaken over here. Yeah. And then this is a zone. I divide my charts into zones. All right. So you can see this zone placed over here played well, played as a resistance, as you can say. And this zone over here, which was a resistance, became a support. Very simple. You can just simplify trading. No need for trading to be complicated. No need for trading to be rocket science and using hard terms and a bunch of shit and, just making it complicated just to look professional. Because I don't do that. I don't like all that mess. This is how I've been trained. This is how I've been trading all my life. And it's been quite well, as you guys could tell. So, yeah. Any more questions about my zones or anything else? You're welcome, buddy. Exactly. It's very simple. Um, you know, you should just simplify your trading process. Whoever is just over complicating it, giving you a bunch of terms and making it harder than it could really be, is just bullshit. I'm a very simple person. This is how trading should be. And some people, okay, I make it simple. Let's be realistic here. Do you expect me to wait and tell you, oh, sizes to get out of drawdown? You think that is gonna get you out of drawdown? It's not. It's gonna it's gonna fuck your mentality and your trading. It's not gonna work out properly for you, and you're gonna end up losing your funds. You need to detach yourself from the money part. Okay, it is money, hard earned money. And when we hold that money in person, physically, it means a lot to us. But when you see it on the screen, you don't you don't feel anything. Okay? When it's on the screen, it's not you don't feel it's real. Anyways, um I basically detach myself and I trade according to I trade according to what I'm seeing. If I have um guidelines and rules for my trading, okay, I need to execute them, regardless if I'm in drawdown or not. So, what that means, if we just broke out, for instance, if we just had a breakout of this mess over here, okay? So let's say price did this, just as an example. It's not just going to be like that. And then it did this to retest. This is where I'm going to go in very, very big. I'm already going to be in somewhere here. But then after the retest, I'm going to go in bigger. And then could say I'm going to over leverage a little bit. And then I'm going to make massive returns by seizing that opportunity. Okay? If you're going to trade safely, slow and steady, in my perspective, you're not going to make money. I mean, you are, but it's going to take you ages to actually reach 5, 6, 7 figures in trading. However, you need to take risks. You need to detach yourself from the actual money part. Do not put it in your head. Do not keep thinking about the drawdown. Oh, I need to make back what I lost yesterday and last month and the month before. I lost 100 yesterday. I lost 2,000 yesterday. I need to make it back. You're not going to make it back if you're thinking that way. You detach yourself and you trade based on what you're seeing on the charts. All right. Okay. More questions. And excuse my language, guys. I'm sorry. See, based on everything that's happening now, I'm just increasing and adding more positions because you can tell how hard it's rejecting 4,700 for 680. See, we're getting massive rejections from there. New York is just taking gold sideways most of the session and consolidating because markets, all markets, every human being as well is waiting for Trump's decision and for the deadline to end, which is around I think 8 p.m. Washington time, if I'm not mistaken. So this is expected. Um, London's been very, very beautiful. London yesterday and today has been beautiful. But New York session has been nasty. And I don't really enjoy trading New York anymore. I'm already in the deals, Nishan. What happened um, and what caused gold to spike this way at the beginning of New York session? I think this was just a liquidity sweep. Tried to tap, create a high, and yeah, it's dropping now. Should continue dropping across the session, in my humble opinion. Oh, and guys, my recommendation to you is to try, try trade in broker, as it's a very, very clean. You don't got slippage like most of the other brokers out there. Instant withdrawals, and you can withdraw your funds straight from funding pips all the way to trading, which is insane. So if you're searching for a broker, trade in is your place. I mean, yeah, we gotta be patient. No, I only trade gold. Could you guys see my screen? I only trade gold because volatility is a trader's best friend. You're not going to make money easily, as easy as you can on gold, and you're not going to lose money as easy as you can on gold with forex pairs. I don't like sideways movements. I like a trending market. I like clean moves like this, for example. Let me show you. Let me show you what I like. Um, Hold on. Yeah, for example, I like eh, not this part. This was messy and nasty and dirty. This I like what I saw over here. I like this, and I love this. Look at this. Yeah, you're not gonna see that on forex pairs. I like this move. See, you cannot see those kind of movements on forex pairs. And okay, I like volatility and all that, but I do not really trade indices a lot. I just do sometimes. But yeah. So yeah, this trade will play out. As there hasn't been any trade that I've given or Kashif, he's not here now, but every single trade me and Kashif gave trade in TV the past 3 weeks has hit TP1 at least. So it's gonna take time, yeah. My trades usually take time. They're not fast, but they're worth it. As my targets are very big. Then I've got some people from my community watching us here and they know what I'm talking about. You're welcome. All I can tell you guys is that we will get a breakout today and it's gonna be massive because today is the deadline. And this is the reason why we had this whole consolidation this week. Because of Trump's deadline. Sometimes I like watching the 5 minutes as well. When I don't want to be on the 1 minute and not on the 15, I just hop on the 5 minutes. Just look at how nasty this is. God. Very dirty moves. to those people who go by candlestick patterns and all that, this is, I don't know, this is called a morning star or something like that. I don't know. But this is a reversal indicator. However, it's on the 5 minutes, so it's not really as precise as it is if you see the theme. Usually, like this over here, like this over here, um, like this over here, which isn't very clean, but you can see this over here, see it over here. I I tend to notice this a lot. As I said, I'm not expecting this move to happen instantly due to the consolidation and markets awaiting Washington's move. But I'm just giving it, around 10 more minutes to see what we're gonna get through this live. If we're gonna go anywhere or not, because it's been very, very dead. But yeah, keep my words in your head. Gold is going to sink today. I just want to see this at least on the live. Take out the current lows. And yeah, this was Asia's low. New York has to take out either or Asia's low or high. Pulled. Okay. Bank of France pulled the remaining gold held in New York and replaced it with the same amount of gold bars, but it's in its vaults in Paris. So you see, banks are moving their gold from the States. What does that mean? That means we cannot trust the US. By the way, I've been adding positions. So I currently have a position at 65, 63, 60, 59, and 56. And I told you guys I've been adding positions. Currently in some nice profits. Slam me with your questions, guys. I like questions. Yeah, I'd like to end the live around when gold drops to 4,650 if it does in the next 10 minutes. 4,650, 4,637 is where I'd like to see it the following few minutes. And by the way, you see this pattern I spoke about actually worked on the 5 minutes, even though I don't really trust it on the 5 minutes, but it works. And let's see the 15 closed here. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it was a liquidity sweep, most likely. Again, do not forget SLs 4,710, TPs 4,400. I didn't know my camera's not showing. Sync, baby. It's beautiful. Just to show you guys, see current positions. Let's go. I'm not gonna show my balance or anything, but this is the current profits, $690 by a trade-in broker. And by the way, I'm not in my office. That's why I'm trading from here, because I'm traveling right now. It's funny how the whole planet expected gold to actually skyrocket nonstop with the ongoing war and with the ongoing fundamentals in the Middle East and the tensions. However, played differently because of oil prices and massive losses happening on the stock market, crypto. So investors, firms are forced to liquidate some gold to cover losses happening on their stocks and um, positions. So, yeah, I said 5,000 or 4,100 last week. We went all the way to 4,800 from 4,500. So technically, I gave you 3,000 pips, which is still fair. Fair enough. Boom, look at that. Look at gold, baby. Look at gold. Look at gold. This is beautiful. Give me 100 more pips. Come on, baby. Come on. 100 more pips. Let's go. Oh, I'm not a kind of trader that takes partials, by the way. Testing, brother. What do you mean? Can we enter now? We're already in about 100 pip profit from the initial entry, and from the extra positions we had, it's 200 pip profit. Initial entry was 4657, and then the extra positions were from around 4667. So if you're getting in now, it's on your own risk. It's gonna work. It's gonna go to our targets either way. So if you have good risk management and you could place your SL at 4,700 from here, um, you could enter. I wouldn't though. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I want to see some W's, guys, because we're already in like 100, 200 pip profit. Throw in some W's, please. Then I'm gonna remind you of this next week, by the way. I'm gonna remind you guys of this exact setup next week because I'm here only every Tuesday, and once we hit our T, around to full TP 2,500 pips. Gonna remind you of this. Yes, sir, massive profits, and it's still moving. To the person that asked if they could enter, what's his name, Testing Chan, you could enter now. You see, every retest, every pullback is another entry. That's how you should visualize. That's how you should look at the charts. Okay? So, you're in shorts and your target is very big. It's dropping. Every pullback you get is another chance to add more positions. That's how you maximize your profits. I'm not going to sit here with one position at 0.05, at 0.5, regardless of the position size, and just sit like this and wait for my position. No, I'm a person that loves money, and we all love money. We're all humans. We're here for one goal, which is to be profitable and win together. Okay? Um, thinking with rules and with what you're taught online. Uh, this is the financial industry. You cannot risk big, protect your capital. Of course, protect your capital, brother, but you cannot sit and expect yourself to reach tens of thousands of dollars by not taking risks. And as social media gurus and influencers say, no risk, no Ferrari. However, I'm gladly not a social media influencer or a trading guru or any of that. I'm just a trader, and all I do is trade the entire day. I'm a day trader and I keep trading. Um, that's the difference between me and your fellow social media influencer traders. I did not say you should enter again when it comes back to entry. I said you should enter again from every pullback you get. You get a pullback, you can add more entries. This is how I personally trade. This is how I proved my success in this field. And all my withdrawals, whether it's with prop firms, funding pips, of course, the best prop firm out there, and trade in brokerage for live accounts and other brokers. I see the charts as every pullback is another chance for an extra position. However, I'm not going to sit and teach exactly how how I do my positioning, how I do my risk management, and add my positions in a safe way. Maybe next week I can teach you guys. However, my community members and all that, they all know my ways. They all envision everything, and everything's out there for free in my community. Well, you should say that with a warning that beginners should not do this. Um, when it comes to beginners, look, I told you I do my things in a different way, in a different manner than most traders out there. If you build yourself in trading from scratch, as a person that does not take a single risk and does not risk. You are going to stay that way your entire journey. You're not going to be okay with risking or over leveraging if you do not risk as a beginner. Okay? So if you do that in the beginning of your journey, you're not going to go anywhere later on. And I'm sorry if my words are harsh, but as I said, this is my way. This is how I trade, and this is how I've been trading for 6 years. So you cannot tell me that, um, it is okay for you to basically just trade risk free and play it safe the whole time, because playing it safe won't take you anywhere in life, not just in trading. There has to be risk in place. Sorry. So as I said, um, you need to take risk. How are you going to take risk? By detaching yourself from the money. It is your hard earned money, but you should detach your brain from it. Please. And I promise you this is going to work for you, as it worked for me and for every person that I've taught this. Anyways, it was lovely having you guys. Um, we'll have lots of better days with a better market. We already caught around 200 pips from this entry. And